All right, for today's video review, we're going to start taking a look at Transformers Legacy United Doom and Destruction Collection Ruckus and Bludgeon. And yeah, like with all these box sets, I'm going to split it up into two different videos and just take a look at each figure individually. We're going to be taking a look at Ruckus today specifically. But yeah, if you're unfamiliar with the Doom and Destruction Collection, again, this is another one of our Legacy United subcapsules. This one is exclusive to Amazon, and it's specifically focused on the Mayhem Attack Squad, which is like the Decepticon version of the Wreckers, basically, and a couple characters that have had somewhat of a history being in the Mayhem Attack Squad in the past. But yeah, like I said, we are going to take Bludgeon and just put him off to the side for now, and for today's video, just be taking a look at Decepticon Ruckus, or Ruckus. I assume for trademark reasons he's not spelled Ruckus. He's just spelled Rukus. So he's Ruckus. I know I'm sure it's still pronounced Ruckus. But yeah, this guy is a very extensive retool of the Legacy Evolution, I want to say, Beachcomber mold, which you really couldn't tell from this mold or from this vehicle mode at all, because he looks totally different. But yeah, I'm quite pleased with how this guy turned out. When they first started showing images of this guy online, I was worried that the purple here was going to be a bit too of like a regular blue, and that the tan here would be just too much like a regular gray, and it kind of looks that way on the box art as well. Even though I like the colors I really associate with Ruckus are like purple and yellow, and I was like, oh, blue and gray, that's not what you want. And I could still use a little bit more yellow in the tan, but in person at least, the bluish purple definitely does stand out as purple a lot more, which makes him actually look like the character that I want him to look like, which is nice to see. But yeah, in terms of his weapons, he does come with the same little like bumper gun that that Beachcomber came with, and obviously you can store that in the same place, and he does actually like sit a little bit more inlaid on Ruckus, which I feel like makes it look a little bit better, whereas it looked a little bit out of place on Beachcomber. And then he comes with these two new guns here that you can attach to these pegs right here. Actually, you can attach them like right side up and have them. This is like replicating what were they called? The Trigger Cons? Is that what these guys were? But you can put them right side up or upside down. If you have them right side up, when you fold them down, they still stick up like that, which looks fine. But if you have them upside down, they can actually like fold down, integrated into the body, which I feel like looks a little bit better. But yeah, it's nice to see that we're actually getting like a bit of the Trigger Con gimmick here, whereas with like Crankcase, he was just a remold of the Skids mold, so he kind of had it, but it wasn't really accessible in vehicle mode. And with Windsweeper, who I don't have, he literally just came with the same like Target Masters that that Needle Nose came with, so he wasn't really doing it at all, which is kind of a shame. But yeah, they did enough remolding on Ruckus that he actually does get to have this gimmick, which I do appreciate. And it's nice that you can use it in both modes and then have it kind of hide away and it looks just fine. But yeah, because he's a remolded Beachcomber, he also has the rubber tires, which is nice, and he actually rolls a little bit better than Beachcomber does, in my opinion, because my Beachcomber is a little bit squeaky. But yeah, in terms of comparisons in this mode, just for the standard one, here he is with Kingdom Sideswipe. For another Trigger Con, here he is with Crankcase. Again, now that I have both of these guys, I'm tempted to go and pick up Windsweeper, but I still kind of want to wait to see if I can get that set on sale, because I don't want Breakdown, and that's like where a majority of the price is coming from in that set. So like I don't know, I could get that set and then like sell Breakdown locally or something, but it's a whole rigmarole, whereas I'd rather just buy the figure as is. I don't know, but yeah, that's what the two of them look like together, and yeah, I think they look pretty good. And then last but not least, here he is with Legacy Evolution Beachcomber, and you can see like you really would not be able to tell that these guys are the same mold. Like, honestly, the only visible things from the top side of the alt mode is just literally like the bumper gun and the wheels. And other than that, like the rest of the vehicle is completely reshelled. And he actually looks quite different in robot mode too. It's one of those like partials where it's like he only really uses like a few parts from him, but honestly, it's like almost entirely a new mold, which is cool to see. But yeah, to get onto transformation, we can just remove the gun here. These ones you can just leave attached like that. I do tend to like flip them up just so they're out of the way of the arms, but you can kind of leave them there. He does have the same back of the leg panels that Beachcomber did, which on him are a little bit annoying to get untabbed there, but you just want to untab both of those. And then you want to take this entire section here, including this bit of the roof, and it will unfold. Now, because he's got his arms kind of tabbed in here, I find that it's better to do the legs first, and you just kind of have to like feed these panels in between the thighs and the arms, which is a little bit annoying. It's honestly more annoying to do going back into vehicle mode, but yeah, it's still kind of a pain. And then you just close those panels back up, take this bit of the roof and fold it down to be his heels, and then separate the legs. Then the arms will just untab from the side here, and then we'll just rotate around his head. So you can see he doesn't really share even all the same transformation steps as Beachcomber. And there we have Ruckus in his robot mode. And yeah, he looks pretty good. Like I said, I really like the way the purple actually turned out in person, and the tan is like yellow enough that I can kind of deal with it. It could still be a little bit more yellow, but you know, I tend to think of it being more of like a mustardy color, but yeah, this is fine as well. And yeah, he looks pretty good. He does have kind of strangely long legs just because of like him using the upper legs of Beachcomber, but the like a new lower leg. So he's kind of has that thing going on where his like lower legs are way longer than his upper legs. Thankfully, the knees themselves are actually like down here, so it's more proportional than it actually looks. But it kind of looks like his knees end up here, which looks like he's just got like tiny upper legs, and also his ankle tilt is like partway through his shin, so he's wearing these like giant like stiletto heels basically, which is kind of funny, but you know, it's an interesting look, and I don't think it's too bad. In terms of articulation, the head is on a ball joint, so it can rotate around like that, gets a little bit of wiggle back and forth. He's got the same shoulders as Beachcomber, which can rotate all the way around, though they do bump into his backpack because it is completely static on him, so he does kind of have like his, you know, biceps do kind of run into the back piece here and go out to the side. He's got a bicep swivel, a little over 90 degrees of bend at the elbow. He's got a wrist swivel, which is nice, a waist cut, hips can go forward and back and out to the side, thigh swivel, about 90 degrees of bend at the knee, and then he does have that ankle tilt. And then I guess you can kind of tilt his heels forward too to kind of fake a forward-facing ankle tilt, but his legs are so weird and long anyway that I don't think that helps a whole lot. And then, of course, if you want to give him his weapons, you can just give him the little bumper gun here, and he looks okay holding that. And if you don't want him holding that, you can just store it on the back here. He's just got a peg on the back, so that works pretty well. And then these guns just get to do the TriggerCon gimmick and flip over his shoulders, which is really cool to see. And it's nice that they do unpeg as well, so if you want him just like holding these guns, he can hold them, and it looks pretty decent as well. But I definitely prefer having these ones stick over his shoulders, so he's doing the whole, you know, TriggerCon gimmick. But yeah, no, I think he looks pretty good in terms of comparisons in this mode. Here he is with Sideswipe, so you can see kind of tall for a deluxe there, at least compared to a Sideswipe there. Here he is again with Crankcase, just so you can see what the two of them look like together. I also find it funny that just because he's using the Beachcomber mold and like what he did too, just happenstantially, in addition to the shoulder cannons, they also both have guns made out of their front bumpers, which I think is kind of neat. Obviously, that's not also something that Windsweeper would share, unfortunately, but still, I feel like that's kind of an interesting little crossover between the two of them. But yeah, I think they look good together. Here he is again with Beachcomber, just so you can see just how different this mold is. I mean, you can see just from the height alone, like really there aren't that many things that are actually shared on this mold. Like I want to say the hands are the same, looks like the shoulders, and then the wheels, obviously the upper legs and the waist piece are shared, and then again just that front bumper gun, and that's pretty much it. Oh, and then the panels on the back of their legs, but again, that's pretty much it. There's not really a whole lot here that's the same, and you can see just like he's so much taller than Beachcomber too, which really again like makes them stand apart quite a bit. But yeah, no, I'm quite pleased with how different he is. And then last but not least, here he is again with Bludgeon, who I'll be taking a closer look at in my next video here. But yeah, Ruckus was definitely the reason I wanted to get the set, and he does not disappoint. He's a fun figure, and there's, you know, he's a little bit simple in terms of just like, you know, lying down. He doesn't have the whole like body collapse thing that that Beachcomber did, just because, you know, it's another thing that makes him a lot taller. But, you know, that's actually quite similar to how the G1 toy was, so it's not really, you know, too big of a downgrade, honestly. And yeah, no, I think that the two of them are really good together. I like this Bludgeon too, I just didn't necessarily need it. Ruckus was really the one I wanted in the set. But yeah, like I said, I'll take a look at Bludgeon in my next video. But that's pretty much all there is to them. If you enjoy my videos, make sure to leave a like and consider subscribing to the channel. I do reviews every Tuesday, Thursday, and Sunday. And without further ado, here we have Transformers Generations. What is it? I almost said Wreck and Rule. Doom and Destruction Collection, Decepticon Ruckus.